This lesson is talking about the slope of a line. Informally, the slope of a line measures how steep the line is. And then we need to also take into consideration whether the relationship between x and y is an upward or a downward trend. So we can also think of the slope as a map to get from one point on the line to another. So here are your 4 basic types. The first one is an upward trend, so we're going uphill, so it's a positive slope. Second one, downward trend, so it's negative. And we always move from left to right like you're reading a book, and I always think of it as I'm riding a bike and I'm going downhill. This one, if I'm riding a bike, I'm going uphill, so it's harder, positive exertion. Negative, you're like, yay! Okay, this one, it's a horizontal line. It's 0 slope. So I'm biking. I'm doing great. Good. And then this one is a vertical line. So the slope is undefined here because it's too steep to measure. There's no way I could bike up that line. Now here's the formal definition of slope. The slope of a line through 2 distinct points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, is equal to this formula right here. The difference of the y's over the difference of the x's. And you can think of it as a vertical change, because y is up and down, over a horizontal change, left to right. A lot of books use rise over run. Now, the first thing we're going to do is read a slope from the graph. So what I do to read the slope, I have to figure out what my vertical change is, my up or down, and then I need my right or left. I can see that the slope of this line is negative, so because if I put myself on a bicycle, here I am, I'm going downhill. So I'm going to try to go from this point here, which is the point 0, 1, to this point here, which is the point 3, 0. Why? Because I know that those 2 points are on the line. They cross right where I need to know. So now I'm going to do my up or down movement. I'm going to go from this point to this point, and I can't slide along the line. I'm going to do a vertical movement first, which means I'm going down 1. So that's -1. And then I'm here, so I have to go right 3. 3 to the right is positive. So my slope is -1/3. Next one. First I'm going to dot 2 points on this line, you guys. And then my slope is the up or down motion first, right left motion second in the denominator. So I have to go up 2, that's +2, and then I'm going to go right 4. And of course, I can reduce this to 1/2. So there's my slope. And of course it is positive, because here's me on my bike. I would have to go up the hill. Next, let's use the formula to find the slope. Because yes, I could graph these 2 points and do the exact same thing, but why make extra work for myself when I can just use the formula? So here's x1, comma y1. That's the x-coordinate of the first point, comma y-coordinate of the first point, x2, y2. That's the x-coordinate of the second point, y-coordinate of the second point. So let's plug in. Well, y2 is 5, y1 is 3, x2 is -1, x1 is 2. So 5 take away 3 is 2. 1 take away 2 is a negative 3. So my slope is a negative 2/3. Doesn't matter where you write the negative, as long as you only write one negative. I could have written it like this without in front. So any one of those ways will work. Let's do the next one. I write the formula out a lot because it helps me remember it. So here we go, guys. So y2 is the y-coordinate of the second point, which is 0. y1 is the y-coordinate of the first point, and that is negative 5. So we're subtracting a negative 5. And x1 is the x-coordinate of the first point, and x2 is the x-coordinate of the second point. So it's x2, which is 3, minus a negative 2. Well, negative 0 subtract negative 5 is 5. 3 subtract negative 2 is a positive 2, so this is 5 over 5, which is 1. So the slope of this line is equal to 1. Next, we're going to talk about slopes of horizontal and vertical lines. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to graph the equation y is equal to 5. So I use the table. Y is always 5, and x can be anything it wants. So the ordered pair here is 0, 5. The ordered pair here is 1, 5. Let's graph it. 0, 5. 0, 5. Now let's graph 1, 5. So that's going to be 1 all the way up to 5 here. And we see that this is a nice horizontal line. Now we're going to use the formula for slope to get the slope between these 2 points. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the difference of the y's, which would be 5, take away 5. The difference of the x's, which would be 1, take away 0. So it's 0 over 1, which is 0. So the slope of this line is 0. Now, if we use the points to get from the graph of the line to get the slopes, well, that's rise over run. That's my slope. So if I start right here, here's me. I got to go no up or down and to the right 1. So the slope is 0. So we get the same result, whether we read it off the graph or we do it using the formula. Now let's graph this line when x is equal to negative 4. We'll put random values for y in, 0 and 1, and graph it on the paper. Negative 4, comma 0. Label my axes, and negative 4, comma 1. So we can see that this is a nice vertical line. Now, let's use me to get the slope. On the graph, I'm starting here. I'm going down 1, but no right or left. We can't divide by 0. This is undefined. The slope is undefined. Now we're going to use the formula to get the same result. The formula is m is equal to y2 take away y1 over x2 take away x1. So let's use the points. Yeah, let's. So y2 is 1 take away 0, and negative 4 take away negative 4. So the numerator is 1. The denominator is -4 plus 4, which is 0. So again, the slope is undefined. Now you'll be able to use this lesson to help you do the My Math Lab assignment. Good luck, ask questions, stay pumped.